We are out at Green Gate Guest House today, which is located just a few miles south of the Giants Ridge golf and ski area. And we are joined by Sean Callahan, and he is the owner and developer of this beautiful, almost new guest house near Giants Ridge. And Sean, how long has the guest house been open?
Not very long. We just opened right at the end of last year, December of 2011, so we're 8 months in.
Okay, and can you give us a little bit of maybe just your story, how you came about buying this beautiful piece of land and your vision for it, and I guess a snapshot of the journey you've been on so far with the guest house.
Sure. Well, first of all, I was raised in the area. I was raised about 70 miles west of here in a town called Grand Rapids, and I had gone down to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area to go to college and ended up working as an engineer. I was down there for about 10 years, and then I was between jobs and planning to move somewhere back up in northern Minnesota. And I had a sister who was living in Aurora, which is about 5 miles east of here, and I was just happened to be up visiting her family when I was between jobs, and word of mouth heard of this property that was for sale by Giants Ridge, and being a avid skier and biker, I loved the surrounding area. I had been to Giants Ridge, so I knew how nice it was, and I came out here and rode my bike one day into this abandoned farmstead that was out here kind of on the edge of town, but felt like it was in the middle of nowhere, and the energy was just powerful. It just felt so positive to come out here, and it was beautiful and just had a great energy, and just seemed like a great place to settle down. And I had long-term plans that were developing to do some kind of unique lodging property based on travels that I had done down in Mexico and South America, and I wanted to, it was in the back of my mind, I guess, to do some kind of hostel or one-of-a-kind lodging opportunity. So when I did come here, not only did it seem like a great place to live, it seemed like a perfect place to build a barn home or a hostel that other people could come and enjoy it as well. So that's what made me decide to buy it, and that was about 10 years ago. My wife joined me about 5 years ago, and shortly after that we decided to actually convert the barn into a guest cabin, and it took about 3 years to build. And like I said, we've just finished end of last year, and we've been open for about 8-9 months now.
And when you bought the property, were there a lot of little outbuildings and that you've utilized that have contributed to what we see here today?
Absolutely, yeah. When I first came out here and when I bought it, it had been abandoned for about 3 years. So there were maybe 7 buildings on the property, and the property had been owned by the same family for pretty much its entirety. About 100 years. A family of 13 grew up and largely lived off the land. They had animals, they had an amazing set of gardens. They lived off the land, they sold a lot of produce to the community. It was a pretty well-known spot here, and so it had a lot of potential, but it was also very dilapidated. So what we did is we took down all but one of the buildings, being the main farmhouse, which is still under renovation, and then we used all the salvage materials, which was quite a bit. We were able to save a lot of timbers and lumber, and incorporated all that reclaimed material into this new construction project, which is now the barn home that we rent out.
And what about, I know you're an engineer by trade, but as we've got to know each other doing these videos out here, I've learned a lot about, I guess, your philosophy of utilizing the environment and how to, I guess, sustainability is the right word for it. And I know a lot, that's a popular buzzword now, is green, but you've really applied it in true form out here. Can you tell us a little bit about your philosophy? I mean, even the garden out here, the solar panels, recycling and finding uses for old materials that other people would just end up in, it would maybe might just put in a landfill somewhere. I mean, can you sum up that philosophy for us, Sean? Because it's again, you've put it to practice out here.
Yeah, well, thank you, first of all. And I think what we've tried to do, both my wife and I, are largely city slickers. Growing up, I did spend a lot of time in the woods because my family had a cabin, but we both came from a city environment. But I've got a technical background, and what I try to incorporate into my life as well as into this project is sustainability from the standpoint of going after the low-hanging fruit, which is a common phrase for basically doing the things that make sense, first of all, from an economical and environmental standpoint, and the things that are the easiest to do. So reusing the materials you have available, or supporting your local economy when you are purchasing things or looking for tradespeople, doing the gardening, growing your own food, making solar panels to produce energy that you can do for little or no cost on your own at home, things like that. The energy efficiency is a big part of this project. As a new construction project, it was really easy because we had a clean slate to do a lot of high efficiency systems and construction practices in the building, but there's also a lot of retrofitting that we've done on the original farmhouse that are just easy things to do and make sense from a financial standpoint and for the environment.
And Sean, you mentioned that you moved here. You moved here from a metropolitan area. I'm assuming down towards the Twin Cities. Mm-hmm. But how is it? Being a resident up here. I mean, you're just 5 miles from Giants Ridge. Aside from your business and your way of life here out at Green Gate, what's it like to live within the Giants Ridge community, where you have access to all the trails and all of the natural resources that Giants Ridge offers?
Well, being a Nordic skier, a pretty fanatical Nordic skier in the winter, and a mountain biker and cyclist and trail runner in the summer, and as well as hiking and paddling, those are all the things that we like to do. I can't think of very many places that could possibly be better than the Giants Ridge area, because everything is right at our fingertips, and there's not a time of year that you can't be enjoying the outdoors. It is just fantastic. We can ski right from our door and connect up with the Giants Ridge Nordic system. In the summer, we've got the Mesabi Trail, which is a block from our property, and that allows us to travel for 100 miles on trails or a myriad of road routes. There's mountain biking galore in the area, hiking at Giants Ridge, paddling waterways, the river that goes right by our property, as well as being an hour from the Boundary Waters canoe area, an hour from Lake Superior, which is like having an ocean in your backyard, an hour from Duluth. You can't beat it. You got the country, and you've got everything else within a short drive around you if you want it. It's fantastic.
Well, Sean, we're going to, you're going to take us on a tour of your property. We're going to see the inside of the guest house or the barn, and you'll take us down to the river. Mm-hmm. But thank you for starting this with sharing us about your history, and we love having you as part of the Giants Ridge community.
You're welcome. Let's take a look.
All right, thank you.